Welcome to Influencing Magic, a Daps Magic podcast exploring how members of the Disney and creative communities became influential in their different disciplines.
We are interviewing and sharing experiences of an ever-growing influencing market, drawing from Daps Magic's nearly 20-year history within the Disney community. Come with us as we share what it takes to be a successful Disney influencer, both professionally and personally.
While we also seek to influence kindness along the way. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Annie.
And you're listening to episode 1 of Influencing Magic.
Influencing Magic, yeah!
It's finally here. We've been talking about this for 6 months-ish?
Yeah, at least.
At least, yeah. And we finally have it together. So
do we have it together?
I don't know.
That's the big question.
You know, we're going to find that out. That's going to be part of the adventure of Influencing Magic. But this is an exciting thing because this is the big new thing for us, I feel like, right now. And normally at this time during the podcast, we'll probably chat a little bit and be like, hey, what's new with you? And I'm like, well, the new thing with me is this podcast.
This is the new thing.
This is the new thing.
So if I say, what's new with you, Mr. Daps?
I would say Influencing Magic and its first podcast being recorded and figuring out the theme songs for it and the look and vibe, which you've been working on so much, and figuring out what this is actually gonna look and feel like.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the overlay? Is it cool? It's a little bit different than what we've seen on this before, right?
Yeah.
We
much so.
had a previous podcast, the Daps Cast,
which you couldn't see.
Yeah, we didn't have any kind of video, anything. It was just the audio, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like
this
is like a new and improved endeavor for Daps Magic, and thanks for coming along.
And I would like to think that we sound better, or at least more like us than ever before.
Hopefully.
I don't know. We'll find out.
That's the hope.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. As we dive into our first episode,
yes,
we're going to kind of go over our who, what, why, where, and when. How did I have 6 last time?
I don't know.
What, why, where, when. There's 5.
Okay, that's why I was confused. We did a run through earlier, just kind of like, hey, how is this going to work? And I got confused, but maybe I wasn't the only one confused.
Yeah, that's it. Only 5. Okay.
And then you wanted the 6th, so I said how. And I was like, I don't know. What? Yeah. Anyway,
okay. Let's jump into episode 1.
Yes.
Of Influencing Magic.
Let's do it.
Okay. We've already got our who.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Mr. Daps, Annie, and we are going to be your hosts. We're going to be also bringing in a lot of interview guests. We have literally an entire list. How many shared notes did we have between us of all of these?
Dozens.
I mean,
maybe hundreds.
We have everything ranging from people that we know personally and trust to bring in good information for you guys, but also we have like our dream cast for Influencing the Magic.
Some of this might happen. Like there's some magic happening that could make some of these dreams come reality. And part of that is you can help make these dreams a reality too by subscribing to this right away and sharing it and giving the good ratings on what is it, Apple Podcasts now, because it's not like it used to be. But those things will really help us as we move forward into this, because the more influential this podcast becomes as we really help people. I mean, at the very basic, I don't know, premise of this is helping people be successful. I mean, we're saying it in a fancy way, but that's what we do. And so the more successful this is, the more successful people will want to come on here and share how they've become influential in their different discipline.
Right.
And so those will be the other who's also is, maybe Josh D'Amaro or Bob Iger or who else?
No big deal.
No big deal.
It's fine.
We're going to get these people.
We may or may not have already talked to
we've got some people.
Okay, so we've kind of merged into our what.
Yeah,
right? We've talked about our
who-ish, what-ish.
Our what. So what is this podcast?
Well, I think at its basic, like you said it the best when you and I were first talking, is really this is about helping people that aspire to be more influential and successful and reach that goal from wherever they are here to wherever they want to be here.
Right.
And it's following the people that have already done that. So maybe it's you want to be the president of Disneyland or
That's a
Walt
good
Disney
goal.
World or something. And so then in the perfect world, we invite one of those presidents onto the show, and they say, hey, you know what? This is how I started. These are the things I did along the way to get me to where I am today. These are some principles that really helped me as I have become more influential within the Walt Disney Company. These are basically just kind of a almost like a guide, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
finding a bunch of Jiminy Crickets.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It is, but instead of like, this isn't going to be a podcast. I mean, we could also say what it's not going to be is we're not going to get into weekly news. We're not going to get into these are the exciting new attractions that are
Right.
opening in the parks.
There is
or
plenty of that already online. And
go watch Geeks Corner.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Yeah, I mean, and this is cool because we're now going to have 2 shows coming out that are regular shows on Daps Magic, and we'll get into the when.
Yeah.
Is that next?
No.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay, we did our who, what.
Did I do
our
okay
why.
with what?
You did great.
Okay.
You did great.
Do you want to do why?
Sure.
I was
Let's
like,
do our.
I keep going, so you
No,
can
it's
go.
good. You know what? Sometimes I just let you talk.
Well, I like to do
And
the
that's
same
fine.
because then I can just sit here and drink, you know.
Okay, so next is our why. Why did we decide to do a podcast specifically about influencing? I mean, who are we within this grand scheme of influencing to actually give you guys advice? We do not have degrees in influencing, and I feel like being an influencer is so subjective to what's around you, right?
Yeah.
You could be one of the greatest motivational speakers, and yet if you don't have an audience, who are you motivating? In reality, you know what I mean?
You're not the greatest motivational speaker then.
Well, I mean, you could have a way with words. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. But so our purpose for bringing a podcast such as this into the Daps Magic realm is to just really start influencing what makes people, someone who you would want to follow. How do you make yourself influence good and kindness and bringing your own magic into the world around you? Like I said, you don't have to be the world's greatest motivational speaker, the world's greatest person that does whatever you decide to in your field. You can influence magic wherever you are, in your home, in your workplace, with your friends and family. And I think that's an important goal to have in your life, of just always striving to influence the good that you can into your personal life in the world.
When I think the very premise of this too is to expand the definition of what influence is in most people's mind. Because I think quite often when you think influencer, you think, oh, somebody who's running around the parks with their phone or their video camera and doing videos or TikTok or whatever. And I think we're recognizing that that is such a narrow scope of what influencers are. And we know so many incredible influencers that maybe they don't have a large social media or at all social media, but they influence maybe movies. Maybe they're influencing a team. Maybe they're influencing, I don't know what else they could be, musical choices. I don't know. Like there's so many different things that you can influence and be successful with. So we're going to explore lots, if not all of them.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is you're influencing everybody around you.
Yep.
All day, every day. So why not
Remember
make
that.
it for the good?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's next?
Okay. Who, what, why, where? Where are we?
Oh, we're in Daps Studios.
Well,
no.
yes, we are in Daps Studios. But where can they expect to find us?
For the start, it'll be every other Thursday.
That is also the when. It's okay if we
you're
merge
right.
them.
We did, huh? But where you're going to find us is on YouTube. You're going to find us on Spotify. You're going to find us on Apple Podcasts. And basically anywhere you can listen or watch to a podcast.
We've already set up our social media accounts.
Those too.
So right now we have our Instagram set up. We are integrating with Daps Magic's YouTube. That was hard to say. Integrating with Daps Magic's YouTube. So
And the new podcast feature
yes,
on YouTube,
I was
which
just
is
going
very
to say
cool.
that. There is a podcast feature on YouTube now that just rolled out. I just heard about it. I sent you the information. You were like, oh yeah, it is there. So we will be having all of our episodes that you're seeing right now, hopefully under that podcast tab. That's our hope.
Stays.
Yeah, as long as it stays.
I know how to use it now, so we're good.
But for right now, if you want to follow on any of the audio platforms, that would be great. If you want to grab on a Daps Magic and look for us there. Also, if you want to see other stuff in between our show episodes, you can catch us on social medias. We do have a Twitter, and I think we did TikTok, but there's nothing on it yet.
Correct.
I think we're just going to focus on Instagram for the time being.
That's our big home.
Yeah.
Because we like it.
Well, and it's nice. It's fun.
Yeah.
And so I think who, what, why, where, when.
We did all 5.
We did all 5.
Very cool.
Okay.
So now what?
I think that's it for our intro.
Our first, the intro episode.
That's pretty cool.
I feel like because you guys all love Friends so much that there should be like a funny title for it. You know, the one that was the intro or something.
That's fine. We can do that.
I don't know.
What do you guys think? Should we do Friends like episode titles?
No, just one.
Okay, the one where we did the Friends title episode.
This is how we introduced a new podcast about influencing magic. But yeah, it'll be fun, and it's going to be an adventure along the way. And at some point, we'll have sponsors. And
fingers crossed. If you would like to sponsor our podcast, please reach out to Daps Magic.
Exactly, that would be great.
Shameless plug.
Yes, and should we talk about Patreon too? Do you want to talk about that?
Let's do a shout out to Patreon.
Okay. Go to our Patreon. You can find it at Daps Magic, and we are putting some behind-the-scenes stuff up from this show, from Geeks Corner. We put up stuff from the parks pretty frequently, and generally it tends to be stuff that you won't see anywhere else because... Oh, and we also ask for opinions there. It's very much the place where when we're starting a new show like this... I go and Annie goes and says, hey, guys, what do you think about this? And so we get opinions, and you get to really be a part of the decision-making for creativity process as we're moving forward also.
They actually helped us pick out the name. We had a bunch of different ideas.
That is true.
Yeah, they helped us pick out the name for this podcast.
That is very true.
Thanks, patrons.
Yes.
All right. So with that being said.
Yes.
We're going to read since we don't have these memorized yet, we're going to read our...
Someday we will.
...outros.
Okay.
Which is always weird to say. So, thank you all so much for joining in with us. Influencing Magic is made possible by dapsmagic.com, a safe and positive place to find Disney news, resources, and community. Do you want to take the next one?
Sure. Your hosts today have been Mr. Daps and Annie. You can find them on Instagram at Mr. Daps and at it's.the.annie.show.
That's really long.
Is that how it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. The podcast is produced by Mr. Daps, Annie, and Roger, who will be joining us as a producer as we move forward. And you can find Roger at RGRRabbit1. We'll have that in the show notes so you can find him. Special thanks to our guest coordinator and social media coordinator extraordinaire, Caitlyn, at Caitlyn Noel with 2 N's. That should all just be in the show notes, and then they can find it, right?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can shorten
we'll do that. And if you have ideas for what should be in the show notes so that you can read all that stuff and click on it as opposed to just trying to remember what we said,
if
we will make that happen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
You're good.
If you guys want timestamps, if that helps, things like that.
Ooh, that's a good
I know that you can do it on YouTube.
Yep.
So that's something that we can think about and discuss. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check us out on all of the listed media options.
And until next time, keep being kind.